All right, let's jump right into this explainer. Today, we're going to explore a truly massive economic shift, the one that literally allowed human civilization to scale up. Think about it. Money is something we use every single day, right? Whether it's tapping a card, handing over a crumpled bill, or just clicking a button online. But have you ever actually stopped to think about how we got here? Today, we are going to trace that incredible journey from the earliest, messiest days of human commerce, right up to the sleek, modern monetary systems we all rely on.
So, how did we actually get things before money existed? To really appreciate the cash in our wallets, we got to travel way back in time. Before complex financial systems were a thing, early human commerce relied entirely on direct negotiation. If a farmer needed tools from a blacksmith, they couldn't just, swipe a card. It wasn't as simple as checking a price tag. Our ancestors had to rely entirely on what they had on hand, their personal negotiation skills, and honestly, a whole lot of luck.
Section 1. Before bucks, the barter system.
This original old-school system is what we call barter. It's basically the direct swapping of goods or services without any middleman or medium of exchange. In small, localized communities, this actually worked okay. If I had an apple and you had a banana, and we both genuinely wanted what the other person had, boom, we just swap. It was that simple. But while a simple apple for a banana trade works great in a tiny closed loop, it inherently capped economic growth because it completely lacked a standardized measure of value.
Section 2. The problem of mutual desire.
Here is where things get a bit exhausting. This whole system fundamentally relies on something economists call the double coincidence of wants. Basically, both parties absolutely must desire exactly what the other is offering right at that precise moment. If you try to trade your apple for a cool toy car, but the other kid just doesn't want an apple, well, the trade stops dead in its tracks. You've run headfirst into the inherent difficulty of early commerce. Your apple, no matter how crisp and delicious, has literally zero purchasing power if the other person just isn't hungry for it. So what happens when that mutual desire totally fails? Well, you're forced into this incredibly frustrating, inefficient chain of trades. You basically have to go hunt down a third person to act as a bridge. For instance, to get that toy car with your apple, you might first have to swap your apple with someone who has bananas, and then lug those bananas over to the kid with the toy car. It's like a giant, annoying puzzle. This crazy daisy chain of trades creates massive systemic friction. It slows commerce to an absolute crawl, it's a ton of work, and it severely limits how much a society can actually grow.
Which brings us to Section 3. Money, the universal fix.
Enter money. The introduction of standardized currency was a real game changer. It acts as the ultimate economic equalizer because it completely bypasses that annoying need for mutual desire. Almost overnight, it transformed a rigid, exhausting, labor-intensive process into a system that's incredibly flexible and highly efficient. Instead of hoping for a lucky coincidence of wants, modern money gives us a universal medium that literally everyone accepts, taking all the exhausting guesswork out of exchanging goods. Because currency is universally accepted, it creates a standardized measure of value. You don't need to want my specific apple anymore. You just hand over the universal medium, and suddenly I have the purchasing power to go interact with the broader market. Whether we're talking about clinking physical coins at a local shop or just digital numbers sitting in a bank account, money means absolutely everything can have a standardized price. It makes trading infinitely easier and infinitely more scalable.
All right, Section 4, building your own market.
To really visualize the shift, economists and educators love using a super simple marketplace simulation. And you can totally try this at home. Just gather some random items you don't need, introduce some play money, and slap a price on things. Then have your friends or family buy items from you. You'll immediately experience how that universal medium absolutely lubricates the whole process. You're acting out direct trading, but because you're using a universal medium, the transactions are fast, easy, and completely bypass the headache of the double coincidence of wants. Whether you're doing this micro simulation in your living room or looking at the massive macro global economy, the takeaways hit the nail on the head every time. Money radically simplifies direct trading. It's accepted by everyone in that economy. It gives everything clear price discovery, and it provides the essential liquidity that acts as the foundational infrastructure for all modern commerce. Truly, this universal medium is the essential tool that helps the world go round and allows complex global markets to form and thrive. Think about it. We've gone from swapping raw goods in the dirt to swiping digital cards in just a matter of centuries. So if standardized money was the ultimate tech fix for the exhausting friction of barter, what is the next big evolution? How will decentralized or completely digital mediums keep evolving the system in the future? What exactly will trade look like tomorrow? Well, that is definitely something to ponder.
Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer. And hey, keep staying curious out there.